Yo, what's up, dogs? I am back once again, and this time I'm here with a movie review for Companion. Now, I went and saw this on Monday in a matinee in IMAX, and I got some concessions because it was a cheat day for me, and it was kind of enjoyable. I haven't had popcorn in a month, so I loved every minute of it. So, this movie, let's just jump into it. This movie, I liked it. I did. I liked it. I'm a sucker for sci-fi films, and I feel like this movie was like I like the concept of it, of how we have these robots and that's spoiled in the trailer. And I feel like I kind of was like wish that the trailer didn't tell us that Sophie Thatcher's character Iris here is a robot. And it even shows it in the movie poster right here, like with her robotic eyes, like she's shut off in this poster. And I kind of think they went a little too far in the reveal of the surprise of her being a robot, because there is another surprise in this movie. And when it happens, because I'm going to try my best not to spoil this movie for you, because I want you to see it and enjoy this film. Um, when the surprise happened, there was an audible gasp by the audience members that were in attendance. They were like, "Oh!" Like even I was like, "Oh!" I was not expecting it. And then once it actually happens, you're kind of sitting there thinking to yourself of like, well, who else is who they really are in this movie? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of it was a good reveal. I really enjoyed that reveal, and it made me start thinking of like, oh, okay, what else is going on here? You know? And let's talk about Sophie Thatcher for a second here. Iris is a companion robot, okay? And that's what she really is. And she is a companion robot to Jack Quaid's character named Josh. And Josh is like, he has I don't know, he's just has a down on his luck, not good with relationships. And so he buys the companion robot, and she is uploaded with various options of their relationship and how they met and all that jazz. And Iris comes across as just a genuinely lovable character that just like loves Josh, and she will do anything for Josh, and she's adorable. Like you just get really into this character. And on the other side, you kind of start off by liking Jack, or sorry, Josh, and you kind of are sympathetic to him in a sense, but there are various scenes in this movie where Josh really treats Iris like trash. And you're kind of like, why is he doing this, right? Like, why is he being like this? Why is he like kind of cold sometimes? And like, it's really weird. It's like it's an interesting like it's supposed to be interesting, right? And then you find out, well, she's a robot, which is in the trailer, like I've already said. So like that little reveal and like why he kind of treats her like trash, like why he doesn't really care too much about how much she's in love with him and all that stuff. Like it's very nonchalant. And like the other weird thing is too is like there's the one character, Kat, who's played by Megan Suri, who like does not care about Iris. She hates her. They're not friends. And it's also because like she knows that she's a synthetic, she's a companion robot. And it's like it's kind of interesting, but it's also as the story plays out, you're kind of like, well, why does Kat hate Iris compared to other things that happened in this movie? And you're like, that is weird. But I think there was like probably maybe like they talk about it for a brief minute that there might have potentially been a relationship between Kat and Josh at some point and it fell apart or something. But it's really just only said in conversation briefly, and we don't really see too much of that. And actually, that was one thing of this movie that I really enjoyed was the one element of them showing like the implanted memories and how it all works and stuff, and they show like the behind the like they show the history of like Josh picking up Iris and buying her and all that stuff, and like downloading the app and all that. They really go into good detail of like how this robot works, this companion robot works. And like it's funny, like there is some decent jokes in here sometimes. You kind of don't really get too into all of the characters that much. It's really a story about Josh and Iris. Um, but there's an event that happens in this movie, which is the I guess it's in the trailer where Iris kills somebody. Okay, and the thing that I remember when I watched that trailer, I was kind of like, it looked like they were performing a robbery, like they were like professional bank heists or something like that. Like they've done this before. But in this movie, these guys are like absolutely rookies at doing this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like no one is a professional at the robbery and the murdering of an individual. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of starts off to like the story wise, everything falls apart for Josh, so to speak. And it's kind of interesting as how it's like you just see his world falling apart, and as it falls apart around him and new things are introduced to him, he starts to become a little more um neurotic, I guess, and um he becomes a psychopath, so to speak, like because the plans are falling apart, and Iris is the reason why the plans are falling apart, because her whole thing was like, we're going to use Iris, our companion robot, we're going to hack her and pretty much jailbreak her, like they say in the trailer, and she's going to commit the murder for us, and then we will just blame it on the companion robot, as like the programming malfunctioned and she went haywire. So we'll just get her to be shipped off to the company that he bought her from, and we will be scot free with the murder and the money from the robbery. But all that just goes to shit, and it's all because of Iris, and she gains like the 100% knowledge of her brain, which is not Lucy level, because they actually explain it where it's like, oh, she's just like a Harvard graduate. Like she is smarter, but she's not like Lucy where she becomes a god or anything like that. They also do a lot of good explanation too about like these robots and what they can do, and like how gifted or how super powerful they are, because they're not like super powerful, but they're powerful enough that they can still damage the human body, and they can also, but they're really coded in a way where they can't harm humans and animals and stuff like that, like they're not supposed to. But it got jailbroken, and thus anything could happen. And I would like to also just point out that like Lucas Cage, who plays Patrick, awesome in this movie. He was just a cool character as well, and the things that happen to him are interesting and push the story along, and I don't want to mention anything. And Harvey Guellen as Eli, he did provide some jokes, and the interesting reveal that does happen with his character and stuff is interesting, but it's not him. Like I'm not saying like there's things that happen with him, and honestly, don't get attached to anybody in this movie. But it's a fun movie. Like I actually enjoyed it, and I just liked watching Josh unravel, because everything that went to plan failed, and his life sucks, and he's a loser. And he thought that this robbery and this whole plan would make him a winner, and it does nothing. And it's awesome. And Iris in the end is the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like she wins, and it makes you sit there at the very end when you're watching it. You're kind of like, um, do I want a sequel with this character, like with Iris? And I honestly, I don't. I'm happy with what happened with her, and I don't want to say anything about that, but I'm just happy with how her story ends. And it's like we don't need a sequel at all. Like, there's no reason for a sequel to this movie. I'm happy with it just being a one and done, and Iris is happily ever after. Whatever. I don't need to know what happens to her from this point onwards. I'm content with how the story is, and that is cool. And I was going to. Oh, I forgot to put in here on my notes. There's one thing I wish they did in this movie. Okay, and it's not like the movie itself is fine. Like it's an enjoyable time. You'll have a good time at this movie when you go see it. But I kind of wish in the credits sequence, or just a little, just a little something, show me um, the companion commercial of these robots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the company's, I can't remember what their company name was, something X. Um, but I kind of wish they had like the promo commercial playing, like to tell, like just to show us like what was the ad, like the advertisement for the companion robot, like what lured Josh into buying her and all that stuff. Like I just wanted that, because they don't show anything about that. They just kind of like, yeah, he just bought her online and it showed up. But I would really have liked to have seen the ad. And I think that would just been a nice little thing at the end of the movie during the credit sequence. Show us the ad for the companion robot. But that's just a little thing I thought would be fun. Should you go and see this movie? I 100% think you should go and see this movie. Specifically, if you have a date. This is a great date movie. I think you would totally enjoy this with your significant other. And if you don't have a date, go see it anyways. Should you cheap night it? Go for it. Just see it. Just see it. You won't be disappointed. I think it's a pretty decent movie. Like I had a good time with it. That's the thing. Like I was entertained. I would probably watch this again in like, a couple years from now when I forget about it and be like, I should watch Companion again. It was a good time at the theater. So that is it for me in my review. I enjoyed myself. I was entertained. And yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to say about this movie. So drop a like, leave a comment below if you enjoyed this movie or not. Um, yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell because I'm always reviewing movies and trailers all the time. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. It's Monday. I worked a day shift. I haven't done a day shift in forever, so I'm like all over the place. My schedule is whacked right now. But if you're out there, you're working. I hope you had a good day today. And now we're relaxing, getting ready for the next day, Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So just chill out, have a good day. Peace out, everybody. Bye.